What if truly Muhammadu Buhari is not guilty for the misrule, for the wrong policies, for the harsh government that Nigeria endured during the 6 years, the last 6 years of his regime? What if he was innocent? Innocent in the sense that he has actually passed on before then. Have you given that a thought? Because from what I know, from what I've been able to gather, there is every chance that Muhammadu Buhari actually passed on in 2017. And since then, they hijacked the government and start telling us anything in his name. Remember, that's when we start hearing the presidency says. I've never heard it before. When the news is broken, he said that the president said, or the federal government of Nigeria announced. But after they started hearing the presidency, and remember the presidency is faceless. It's supposed to be a group of people. So a group of people cannot possibly be making a decision. Governance was strictly on the shoulder of the president. The box end in his table. Every responsibility is on him. So he said that the president have said, or the federal government of Nigeria have said. So the moment you start hearing the presidency said, then you ought to have noticed that something has changed. But we didn't take note because we always carried away with things that are not relevant. So what if truly this man was already gone and nonsense were being done in his name? Because since they finally announced that he's no more, the attack, the insult, the negative wishes has been much. What if this man is truly innocent? You look at the chances, because the chances are there that he truly wasn't the one who governed for the last 6 years of his supposed reign or tenure of his administration, whichever. You understand? So take a look at that. And for you that don't believe that there's every chance that this man would have been gone, you need to take a second thought. In Nigeria, nothing is impossible. You have no idea what your federal government, what the cabal holding the country can do. Yar'Adua wasn't sick before he became president, only for us to be told in a short while that he fell sick and is no more. What if same was exactly replicated with Muhammadu Buhari, because they feel the man wanted to do things differently? Because the Muhammadu Buhari we were so much told about. It's different from what we saw. So what if you truly want to do things against the cabal? They said, not here, and they just like, discharge this man, let us have our ways. What if that is the truth? And for those of you that think it's not possible, I will give you a few reasons why I think it is possible that Muhammadu Buhari has actually passed on in 2017, as earlier announced. One, remember, Muhammadu Buhari came back from the hospital after a long time away, and the wife left for Dubai. Since then, it's like they were no longer together as husband and wife. I can read minutes to that. You understand? And all those periods, the wife have to cry out that Kaaba have taken over her husband's government, that the husband is no longer in charge, but the Kaaba. And whoever they used to replace Buhari as at that time, or the same presidency, I don't know whoever, now responded by saying, my wife belongs to the kitchen and the other room. That was to say her opinion doesn't count. She knew exactly what she was saying. And remember, Buhari could not have passed on in the UK without international media reporting it. It's not possible. It is not. Because when the rumor came out that he passed on in 2017, the BBC reported it. So we don't know how the Nigerian government managed to stop them. Even when the Queen of England sent a condolence message, they made sure they tell the woman, and in fact, so many things has happened. And it takes an ignorant Nigerian to think that these things are truly not happening. So many things is happening in Nigeria that we don't know. Now, let me ask you, why was the corpse of Muhammadu Buhari not open for anybody to see? Yar'Adua was brought into this country and the corpse was open. People saw it before he was laid to rest. Why was that of Buhari different? Can you prove to me what was in that thing you saw that was being wrapped like there were grasses inside, being wrapped in a cloth, tied at the end and tied at the head? What was exactly in that was buried? Can you tell me? You can tell me. Nobody saw it. That is a message. I think the federal government of Nigeria just wanted to end the drama of this issue of, let's just say, he finally died, so that nobody will be talking about it. Whereas they've taken the 6 years. Because there is no way it could have been a mere coincidence. When Nnamdi Kanu have earlier told us that when this man passed on, after 2 years, when they finally completed his tenure with whatever plan they have, after 2 years, they will announce that it's no more. And it exactly happened so. That could not have been a coincidence. Now, tell me, why was Aisha Buhari not in the funeral where Buhari was said to have been laid to rest? Why was she not in attendance? Or did you see her there? Aisha Buhari wasn't there. Why? And in a bid to cover that rubbish, they came and told us news like this. News we never heard, that Aisha Buhari was divorced from the man. before his death. Can a former president undergo a divorce? Because these people are already public figures. Can Muhammadu Buhari have divorced from the former first lady and the news will not carry, nobody will hear about it? It will just happen secretly. It is all lies. So they brought this news now to tell you, to give you reason why she was not at the funeral. Does that make any sense to you? Of course it shouldn't. Then again, remember, for those of you that are thinking things cannot happen in Nigeria and things of that magnitude will not happen, Osinbajo will not know, the wife will not, these people knew and they cannot say a thing. You don't even know when they say the cabal. Do you even know what they are dealing with? In fact, remember, let me take us back to the word of Rochas. Rochas Okorocha, the former governor of Imo State. He said this word 6 years ago, and I will quote, let me put it there and let you see also. He said, if I open my mouth and say what I know, Nigerians will burn down Aso Rock within 24 hours. Remember 6 years ago, the rumor that Buhari is no more was already on the air. And Rochas was telling us, not just Rochas, there were other notable Nigerians that said this word, that if we open our mouth, Nigerians will burn. What do you think they were talking about? So for those of you that keep saying it is not possible, go and have your sense. The country being governed by these current people, you don't know where we are. That's why Nigerians must wake up. Nigeria must wake up, because we'll be taking for so much right. What they took us for, we must prove that we are actually not. The few of us that know what is happening are actually helpless. We know exactly what is happening, but we are helpless against this cabal. But the power of the people, when united, definitely will be more than the power of the people in power. I don't know if you understand. The power of the people is definitely more than the people in power. But when unity is absent, the people becomes powerless. So please, for the record, have it in mind that the Buhari you are insulting now, that you are saying rot in air, don't rest in peace. I will not tell him that he might be innocent of all of this. All this may just have been happening on his behalf. You give that a deep thought, and then let me know what you think at the comment section.